All right, guys. I'm here in the man shed, and I was actually not gonna do a podcast today. I actually had somebody scheduled that was supposed to come in this morning, but something came up, so I'm doing one tomorrow with Brian Warner from Georgia Red Clay, and Monday I'm doing one with whatever. I've got some guests coming up, so that's. But I was watching this thing on YouTube, and basically it's about it's a combat veteran that's upstate that basically was trying to open up his business and was shut down by the state, or by his state, by the police in his state. I want to be vague about it because I don't know, it just made me think. I've been out, I started going out last week since COVID-19 here in Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think place the the place in Atlanta that stays open the latest is I think it's like a golf. It's the Pond City Market, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but it's upstairs. They have like this golf course. It's like wide open, and I was there last week. I was there last night. There's not very many people out and about. I mean, obviously compared to when the city was wide open, it's pretty crazy just seeing people with masks. And I don't know, to me it just seems surreal, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because I don't know, I just continue to wait to see what's going to happen, and it doesn't really seem like we have any, or at least some data that's telling us why we need to continue doing this. Like, when are we going to move forward? And as always, like I said, what concerns me the most is people that have been out of work for 50 plus days. And we're one of the few states that we are actually starting to open slowly but surely. So, it's just concerning to me of, like, how long are people supposed to hold out in their homes? How are they going to pay their bills? How have they paid their bills if you haven't worked in over a month? So whatever, it just saddens me, because especially now going into Memorial Day weekend, to honor all the men and women that have given everything for our nation so we could be free. So we can be free like Americans. I continue to play bro science because I think I'm a pretty practical thinker. I think I am. But I actually went into a store today to buy a suit, and they made me wear a mask. They told me I had to do it. And because I believe that I am a healthy man, I am 47 years old, I think I'm all right. I haven't done anything different. And I don't know, I'm just confused. I'm thankful that I live here in Georgia. At least we're starting to move forward. And like I said before, my business has been open since this whole thing started, because I started selling masks and face shields. And for the most part, I think I've probably sold half and given half away to people, because yeah, I mean, our business continues to move, and I actually don't see a lot of people at my shop. As far as in the back, I pretty much work by myself in the back of my warehouse, and everything that's really going on is in production. But it's a small business, so if I were to get I don't know, 15 to 20 people, that would be a good day for me. And especially now with technology, you know, everybody's just ordering online too. So it just makes me think that if I'm ordering online, why can't everybody do the same thing? Why can't people go back to work? I mean, I know some nail salons are open, but I've also seen some that are closed. So are they closed because that owner of that particular business has decided to stay in and not open? Or have they clearly gone out of business? Have they gone out of business? So, you know, like I said, I'm just a concerned American, and I'm just seeing this. I'm seeing this with my own eyes, and I guess, reporting so other people can see across our nation what's going on. I mean, what's going on here, you know? So I think, if anything, we can say that older people are affected by COVID-19, or people with underlying causes, right? People that are diabetic, people that have hypertension, people that are ill. I mean, people are dying. I mean, I believe it. I just want to emphasize, what about the people that are healthy, right? What about the people that are healthy? Can we make that choice? Can we have a choice to go out and still be able to practice social distancing? Which, listen, realistically, I find it kind of hard, because I mean, at the same time, if you're gonna be talking to people, So I mean, do they have the corona? Do I have the corona? I don't believe so. I have not been sick at all. Have I been tested? I have not been tested. But I don't know. I would emphasize people to get more information, because I know that for my home state of Georgia, 90-something% of the people that are actually being affected with COVID-19 are over 65, right? So even I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a teacher, and his brother is a doctor, and they were basically putting out in the news that a young man had died of COVID-19, saying, well, a young man died of COVID-19, so you have to be careful too. Well, come to find out, this young man weighed 450 pounds. Right? So you see what I'm getting with that, guys? Are they lying to us? Are we getting the wrong information? I mean, I just want to know. I want to know when we're going to get back to work. You know, because I just feel like we're heading towards collapsing our economy. So what I want to ask and what I want to put out, listen, guys, I'm not the smartest man in the world. I'm far from that. I just want to put it out there. Like, this is almost like studying counterinsurgency, and I've been doing that for the last 10 years as far as our conflicts around the world, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm thinking maybe the same thing, or trying to look at it in that perspective, like the people that have selective surgeries. You know, the guy that needs to I don't know, possibly have a leg amputated and is not going to the hospital because he doesn't want to get COVID-19, and because it is an elective surgery, he's not able to do it, right? Or another guest that I talked to that said that works around hospitals, and he's seen hospitals where basically they have these places that are specifically made for patients with COVID-19, and the rooms are completely empty. Or or the people that, or the numbers that are down, people that are being or should be treated for chemotherapy that are not going in, which is down by 70 to 80%, I believe, in California. So what's going to happen to those people? Are those people going to get worse because they're afraid of not going in and doing treatment because they're afraid to get COVID-19? So it's beginning to I don't know. It just seems like it's like a ripple effect, that now it's no longer COVID-19, but other people too are being affected by this. What about those people? What about people with depression problems? I know they're saying that the suicide rates are going up. I mean, what happens when you're, domestic violence, child abuse? I mean, what happens? What happens when you can't pay your bills? When you can't pay your rent, when you can't buy food for your children? So I only look at it as, I do okay for myself now, and I always tell people this is, after 20 years, 15 something years of just struggling, my entire life building my business up. So at least now I'm a little bit more comfortable. I mean, my company is going to make it through this COVID-19, but what concerns me are other people that aren't, other people that are struggling, and I just want us to, I obviously don't want anybody to die, but I just don't want to make things worse. How worse are they right now? I don't know. I'm not an economist. So I don't know. It just made me think about it. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated at seeing. Like I said, this veteran is this guy that I saw on YouTube. He's a combat veteran. I think he was with Special Operations, and I think he has a fitness gym upstate. And just the way that they have footage of him talking to police officers, and just the way that they're talking to this guy, I don't know what to say. I feel like my head's gonna blow off. It's just like such disrespect, such disrespect. And this guy owns a gym. Like, these are people that are doing, I'm assuming it's some sort of CrossFit or weight training. These are healthy people. So are we just losing common sense? That's what it seems like it's happening in America. Tonight, I'm dressed up. I'm going to go out. I'm going out tonight. I don't think it's going to be any different than it was yesterday. It may be a little busier, but it's slow. It's very slow. People are there, but I would say it's maybe a fourth of what it should be. Not a half, but definitely, yeah, I'd say about a fourth as far as the people that you see, and the waiters, wearing face masks and wearing surgical gloves. It's just, it's bizarre, guys. It's just so strange. It's so strange, but yeah, I wanted to just, I don't know, man, push this out. I want to know what you guys are thinking. And just so, to put content, to maybe I can show other people what's happening here in Georgia, and we can go by what's happening in Georgia to what's happening in other states. Because I know that up north, they're basically extending the quarantine. So, man, I'm just thankful I live here in Georgia. But like I said, this is what I'm seeing right now, guys. This is ground truth for me. This is what I'm seeing on the streets, because I'm going out. I'm going out on Friday. I went out last night. I'm going out today, and about after I do this, and I'll tell you how it went tomorrow. tomorrow when I do the interview with Brian Warner, and see if it's gotten a little busier. Hopefully it will. I think that for us it's supposed to be at the end of the month. At the end of the month they're supposed to open up like clubs and bars and things like that. And I think big like music venues. And yeah, guys, like I said, and I actually, man, I try not to keep I don't really pay attention to when Memorial Day is, but when it comes up, obviously it's a day of remembrance for all those great Americans that we lost fighting our nation's wars. Okay? Let's get it straight. For all you people on social media, I know you want to put pictures of yourself when you served, and that's great. Awesome. But let's remember that Memorial Day is not Veterans Day, okay? Memorial Day is to remember all those great Americans that gave their last measure of devotion to our country, to our nation, so that we can be free. And for our soldiers and our Marines and our sailors and our airmen that are still in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay? So to put it into perspective is for all the oppression and misery that I have seen, I would like to say that hopefully that there's hope in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, because now we have phones, and those people have phones, and they can see what's going on in the world. They can see that things are changing for the better, and that they can see that there are people living in Western society that live certainly a lot better than they do. And they can have hope for the future. But that's it, guys. I want you guys to have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And like I said, man, just think about all the wonderful Americans that are not home today or won't be home ever because they're gone. Because they're gone. They're no longer here. Our freedoms have come at a great cost. And I think about it all the time. And people like Staff Sergeant Alex French and Lieutenant Cunningham are no longer here. I believe Lieutenant Cunningham had 2 children, and he died in 2010, 2011, and Staff Sergeant Alex French died in 2009 and 2010. I believe it was September 28th, 29th. But so yeah, guys, if you're a veteran and people say thank you for your service, okay, yeah, Roger, I'm tracking, but could you tell them, hey, this isn't Veterans Day. This isn't this is Memorial Day, okay? This weekend is to remember all Americans that have died in armed conflict, that have died for our country, and not just for our country, but for other people's freedoms. Okay? America is the last best hope, in my opinion. We're not We're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we're pretty doggone good. And I'm incredibly proud to be an American. Incredibly proud. And incredibly humbled that better men than me gave their lives so myself and my family could live free. I hope that I can make something out of myself and make all those people proud to try to live a good life, because they didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance. So like I said, I wasn't planning on making a podcast, but I just saw this on YouTube and I just found it so disrespectful. So disrespectful for a police officer. I don't know who this guy was to be talking to this guy like this. This guy's just trying to run his business and he's being treated like a criminal. I don't understand this. What's happening to my country? What's happening? Please, to all the citizens, all Americans, let's pay attention. This goes against our Constitution. But that's it, folks. I just wanted to put it out. I just wanted to, I don't know, kind of push out what I'm thinking about right now, and just frustrated. But that's it, guys. Like I said, have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully my next door neighbor that lives behind me doesn't start popping off fireworks. I don't understand why he does that. I don't think he's from here, but I think he's got his holidays mixed up. I don't know. Maybe he's just a mouth breather. I don't know what to say. But yeah, every Memorial Day he starts doing the fireworks. I don't know. But okay, nonetheless. But that's it, guys. Be good, be safe, and for the old breed, keep getting after it. Oh yeah, and like I said, this is for you, for all the guys in the, these so-called manosphere dudes putting out all this information. When you go out, guys, remember what I was talking about earlier. If you're gonna go out, yeah, you don't have to wear a three-piece suit like myself. I mean, obviously I'm 47 years old, so I'm not just gonna wear a regular t-shirt and some jeans. I like to look, like I said, especially when I go out, I do a lot of business, so obviously I want to look the part too. But as you can, from my past podcast, guys, I'm like a t-shirt and pants and boots and cargo pants. I mean, that's pretty much all I wear when I'm not going out. But like I said, I want to push this out to you guys, because you don't have to wear a three-piece suit, but please take a little bit more pride when you go out. Okay, take a little bit more pride, and trust me, if you dress a little bit better, you're gonna be treated better. Okay, not just by bartenders and waitresses, but by other people, right? So yeah, so like I said, I've talked about this before. Yeah, just take a little pride in what you wear, right? Be the man you want to be. Who are you trying to be? Right? Who do you want to be? Right? Do you want to be a man? Because this is why I do this podcast, guys. You know, because I don't want to, start talking about theories of what you should do, what I think, and then I'm full of it. You know, I'm not full of shit. I practice what I preach. You know, but like I said, I'm not 22 years old. I'm 47 at the same time. And when I came to this country, I lost touch with my grandfather, who was a professional soldier his whole life. And I left my country of origin, which is Santiago, Chile. I was like 6 or 7 years old. And even though I'm 47 years old, I still remember my grandfather. And I always remember seeing him wearing either a uniform or a suit and tie. That's what I remember from my grandfather. You know, and like I said, that was one of the reasons why I named the name of this podcast For the Old Breed. Because it's just to look back to a generation when men were men. When you were proud to be a man. I don't think it is like that anymore. And I don't think that a lot of these guys on these podcasts know exactly what it means to be a man. So there it is, folks. For all you guys that are going out there by yourselves, that's what you need to do. Go out by yourself. For all you pipe hitters out there, test yourself. Test yourself. If you get rejected, or you young guys, if you get rejected, it's okay. It's okay. Just go to the next person. Go to the next woman. Okay? Don't look at it as something negative. Just look at it as something that is. It just is. But just think that even if you sound it, let's say you approach somebody and you don't come off right and you're nervous and you mumble, and listen, don't worry about it. It gets better. It gets easier. Okay? Charisma, it's not just, or as they like to call it, game. Game, it's not just about picking up women. Game is about everything that you do in life. Okay? You should probably work on your charisma if you want to have a business, because you are going to be talking to a lot of people. Okay? I learned a lot of the things that I learned because when I was in the army, I was having to manage people towards the end of my career. Right? So like I said, and I've said it before, I noticed that they would watch me. So that's how I got into psychology and the whole pickup community and that whole red pill. And there are half-truths, but some of it is, they're off. They're off, guys. So, take some of it, but do more research. Okay? Do more research. But, wow, I think I've said enough, guys. So, like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow with, hopefully Brian Warner is going to be here. We could do another podcast. And, yeah, I'm going to talk to him and see what his perspective is on this whole COVID-19. I mean, it's like we can't escape from it. It's all around us. How can we get away from it? So that's it, folks. Have a great day. Have a good night. Be safe. for the old breed. I'm out. Ciao.